Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Lorelai Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs, your safe space for authenticity and transformation. We have events throughout the Pacific Northwest, many online, and today we have one of our online panels. The subject today is telepathic animal and nature spirit communication. We currently have three and intend to be joined by a fourth practitioner tonight to talk about this subject. The practitioners will be introducing themselves and talking about the subject. What is it? What's included? Maybe a bit about their practice and how you might be exploring this or could explore this in your life. And then they'll be available to answer your questions. They're available for free to answer general questions. And then if you'd like to ask a personal question, and I know one of you has already done that, it's a small price, sliding scale, 20 to 28 or $12 for BIPOC folks. And we'll go in line. And all the practitioners probably will have something to say about your question. And more people are joining. We're excited to be together in growing community. Well, let's have the practitioners start introducing themselves. I should say this is recorded. It's going to go on our YouTube channel. And so if you do want to ask a question, please pay first. Let me know after you've paid so I can get you in line. And then you have a choice of whether you want to come up on stage and be in the recording, ask from your chair, or you can ask anonymously as well by private chatting me and letting me know that you want to be anonymous. All right. We're going to hear from Ingrid and Keisha and then Carrie. And then when Ava gets here, we'll hear from Ava as well. Go ahead, Ingrid, and take a couple minutes.
Hi, I'm Ingrid. I am an animal and nature communicator. I also teach this, and basically, it is telepathic communication with animals, nature spirits, plants, really any being of nature. So, I act as a translator and can facilitate a conversation between you and any of these beings. Um, they are really talking to us all the time, and it's just through learning to trust yourself that you can improve your own abilities. So I'm also really happy to take questions about how you can do this on your own as well. Um, and you can find out more about me at earthbeingcommunication.com. And for everybody here tonight, if you sign up for one of my online classes, you can bring a friend for free. Just let me know after you sign up.
And I'm just going to jump in maybe so you share a little bit more about yourself. Can you tell us a little bit of how did you get started doing animal communication, animal spirit communication? How did you discover that this was your gift and that you wanted to share this with people?
Oh, I've always been able to feel what they were feeling. And through just kind of a lifetime of interacting with these energies and taking shamanism classes and learning to speak to mountains and water, I found an animal communication teacher, Maya Kincaid, and I did her mentorship program for a year. And I just, the more I get into it, the more I learn. It's kind of an ongoing, lifelong process. And really, it's more like remembering our innate nature.
That's great. Thank you so much for getting us a little bit more of a glimpse into your journey and how people could step into this themselves if they want. All right, Keisha's next.
Hi, I'm Keisha. I also took classes with Maya Kincaid, the animal communication classes, and then I also took a few the nature classes. Uh, been doing this for about 2 years now. Um, and the same thing, I just if anybody has any questions for their animals, or if they're like, oh, I feel like my animal has something they want to say, I can help facilitate that conversation. Um, I don't have a website, but I do have an email address if anybody needs to reach out to me. Um, this is only my second panel, so I'm just trying my best. Yeah, so thank you.
It's great. You're doing great. And I guess do you work with a diverse array of all kinds of animals, mostly focusing on pets or like what kinds of questions people have? And
That's a good question. I've spoken to mostly pets, but we have spoken to like wild animals if you need, horses and animals in the zoo sometimes too. Yeah.
great, great. All right. And next we have Carrie.
Hi there. So I'm Carrie Russell with Body Balance for Pets. I work a little differently, and that my intuitive work is more energy work and body work. So I can actually intuitively kind of feel into the body. A lot of it's hands-on, but it doesn't have to be. I do it by distance too. I can kind of, but in order for me to really do it by distance, it has to be a kind of a calming space where my nerves aren't quite up. My nerves have to be really calm. So in this environment, it's a little more difficult for me, but I'm happy to answer questions and kind of explore connecting in a telepathic way, because that's just kind of an amazing skill that I think really we can do because the animals are so open to it. It's just getting us used to what they are able to do with anyway, just getting the confidence of our own abilities. I started this energy work really for myself as to self heal about 10 years ago. And so then I did eventually worked with people and learned some energy work modalities. And then I really got fascinated with extending that to animals. So now I mostly exclusively work with only animals, mostly cats and dogs. I have worked with a snake before. I did distance session with a snake. So that was just amazing. And gosh, I think yeah, so that's what I do.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Oh, and let's see. Yeah, and so we're open for general questions for free. I should say we do plan to be joined by, maybe she's coming a little bit late. I'm not remembering everything. Ava does quantum healing, channeling, past life regression, Akashic records, dream interpretation, connecting with spirit guides, a whole bunch of things. So we'll see how Ava's going to contribute today when she comes. So it's free for us to answer general questions, and it's a small price sliding scale for us to answer a personal question. I know we've got one in line already. And yeah, I think someone has a general question in the chat. Feel free. You can unmute and ask your question or put it in the chat. We'd love to hear that. Yeah, and so you might have general questions about how people got started, how did they first start to notice the animal communication showing up, or, anything like that.
My general question wouldn't be a personal one of the
Mhm.
panelists, it would be a broader.
Yeah, go
Um,
ahead.
as you're working with people who are seeking to be in closer connection with their animals, can you identify like maybe the most common misconception they might have or the most common obstacle that presents itself that they can work through, but they need someone to shine a light on where they're interfering with the process?
Great panelists. Yeah, if you have something to say about that. And maybe I'll jump in even before you start and say that I think probably for most people, the thing that gets in the way the most is they're attached to the answers. So just like it's so hard for us to work on ourselves and the people we're so close to, working with the animals we're so close to as well. So maybe aside from that, what are the ways that people tend to have more trouble, get stuck? Go ahead, Ingrid.
Um, Aside from that, I think one of the biggest issues is just learning to trust yourself. The animals really want to communicate with you. They want to be heard. And if you ask them to help you make it more obvious, they are usually so happy. So you can start by asking simple questions that you know the answer to, and notice how it feels when they give you that answer.
Uh, And
And
maybe
just
could you give some examples if you like, what are simple questions people would know the answer to?
Oh, okay. Well, the biggest one, the strongest yes that most people get if it's a pet is, you say, "Hi, Fluffy," or your pet's name, "Do you love me?" And that is a wonderful, strong yes that most people will get. Um, and the more time you spend just being with your animal and asking them questions, the more you learn to trust yourself. You can also, when you start noticing that you're getting something, um, don't push it away. If you're not sure and you have self-doubt, that's very natural. We all deal with that. But ask the question in a different way if you're not sure and see what you hear. And you can also ask questions around the question. So, for example, um, if you ask your animal something like, "Do you like this kind of food?" But you really want them to like it because you just bought a whole bag of it and you're not sure if they're actually saying yes, you can ask it the other way and say, "Would you actually prefer a different food?" Or do you, would you like this food that's different? And just kind of notice what they show you, maybe even ask them to show you their experience of eating the food and how that feels for them. Because some people pick up on feelings, sensations, and visuals more easily than words. And eventually, with practice and asking for different types of communication, you'll start to get it all.
Great, great. Thank you. Yeah, anyone else want to share about that?
I can share. Some real simple steps to start with would be, first of all, just checking in with your own body. And how's your nervous system doing? Because right now, a lot of people's nervous systems are kind of up there. I have a harder time making connections when I'm not in a quiet space. So making sure you're grounded, and this just intentional touch can actually really help with your connection, before you get into maybe even the concerns that you have if I'm getting it right or not. Just starting out with just connecting with them, your hands on their body, and just, feeling that love and connecting with that heart space. That is a way to really kind of start the process. And then what I did also take a couple some animal communication classes, and holy cow, it was so validating when I thought I got an answer, but I didn't know if I was right or not. And five other people got the same answer. So that really, really helped me with my confidence, is realizing that, so the images and the things that I'm getting were right because I didn't trust myself. So that was another way.
Yeah, that's great. I want to say that's one of the benefits of coming to these panels. As people ask questions, you could see in the audience what you pick up, and then a bunch of people on the panel say the same kinds of things. It's suggestion that you're tapping into the same stuff. All right, great. Yeah, just Keisha, if you wanted, did you have anything you wanted to share about that? About how people get stuck or what gets in their way?
It's kind of the same thing. It's like when it's your pet and you know your pet, and then you're like, oh, but that's where I get stuck too. Even as an animal communicator, I'm like, I'm not sure because I know my pet, I know what they like. So then I'll reach out to other animal communicators and say, okay, I think this is right, or I'm not sure. Can you help me with, expanding my question to them, even, even that, where sometimes you just have to ask it in a different way, or ask a bigger question. So,
And if any particular situation comes to mind where you think of where a bigger question was needed, if you could share, that would be great. If nothing's coming to mind, that's okay.
like when my dog, she has heartworms. It's like, okay, well, what can I ask her that would help her, with this condition? And then so I asked her, um, do you want to go to the vet? Do you, would you like to take this medication, and these kind of things? I mean, this is a big a health issue. But then I'm like, okay, well, let me ask my fellow animal communicators and see if they're also getting this answer, or what else they hear from her, and if they can give more information.
Yeah, yeah. So multiple perspectives. Yeah, that's great. And that kind of taps into the follow-up question that someone asked in the chat of, like, I'm having trouble. So somehow new to energy work for pets, having some kind of blockage doing it for her own dog or their own dog. I'm thinking it might be too emotional for me, and other recommendations for how I can overcome that. So that's less communication and more energy work. So yeah, if you have any suggestions about that, everyone, in terms of being a general answer, general question.
I would just kind of question if you're sure there's a block, because maybe it's not. Are you not noticing? How do you know there's a block? I guess would be a question.
Yeah, and is there some trick in terms of energy work too, where, like you said, that a question would be like, "Do you love me?" or something like that. I think maybe Ingrid, you said, like, are there, in terms of energy work, are there ways to kind of test the connection also?
What I do is I expand my energy out. So I just imagine myself larger than life, and that helps, and ground myself. Um, so you're taking, we're more than these little tiny human bodies. So just kind of expanding out to me just really helps with that. So that's one of my techniques. And then I think the block just in that time that tends to just kind of melt away, um, generally. So
Okay, great. It looks
one,
like the
two.
person that asked too is just maybe they have their own like limit of letting themselves focus on doing this with their animal. That's what's coming on, that's going on there. But Daniel had another follow-up on the previous question. Go ahead, Daniel.
Great, thank you. Um, in my life, I find that in working with people, almost like the secret to learning about people is listening better and clearing my own filters and not looking for them to say things in a way I am designed to hear, but to broaden my language, I guess you might say, or my sensors. And I would think that might be even more true. I would guess it would be even more true with animals that, we're an intellect focused society. And I would think that a lot of people are looking for an intellect level of communication. And I would also assume that that's not particularly native to animals, that they have other native forms of connection that are very powerful and probably available to us, but we're stuck in our heads. Any thoughts about that?
Yeah, go ahead. Whoever wants to jump in.
Um, yeah, so even if you think you're stuck in your head and you're going in a loop, it really kind of helps to just acknowledge that with the animal, and say, I don't think I'm hearing you correctly. I worry that I'm not going to get this right. And just being really curious about what their perspective is and being open to anything, because the more you spend time communicating with them, the more things you get that, as a human interacting with other humans and not really diving into the esoteric world, you would have trouble believing it. Like, animals are very in tune with nature spirits. They can see them. Um, they have access to so much information because they can talk to each other, they can talk to other beings, and they can also help you do that. So if you just kind of approach it from more of a like, oh, well, that is really interesting. And then if you hear something or experience something from them that just doesn't make any sense, instead of assuming you're wrong, just keep asking more questions.
Great, great. Thank you. Anyone else? Great. Yeah, any other general questions while we're exploring these? And if there are more general questions that come up during the evening, please feel free and just put them in the chat. All right. I know Brian, go ahead. What is your question?
Yeah, so it's safe to say we're not going to be listening with our normal five senses. It's like it's you're using your energy to kind of it's almost like a clairsentience. You pose the question in your mind. You don't have to say it out loud, and you're receiving like it's a different way of communication. It's not like we're going to be hearing it through a meow or through a tree rustling its leaves in response. It's more like an energy response. It's like a different way of communicating than our normal human senses. It's more like one of our spiritual clairs or something.
Yeah, and I'll put a list of clears in the chat, but I think every practitioner is going to be different in how they pick this up. And probably animals in nature, they communicate in all kinds of different ways, right? And you all practitioners, you tell me. Yeah, if anyone wants to say something about specifically, like what are the main ways that you pick things up? You've just a little bit, but like what are the things you usually do? What are the things you could do a little bit? What are the things that just doesn't work for you at all, but you've heard other practitioners do?
Perfect. Thank you.
Um, I can get information in all different ways. So for me, it was easiest to start out with feeling what they were feeling and then seeing what they were seeing and then hearing what they were saying. But it kind of helps to imagine like say you walk into a coffee shop and the animal you're talking to is sitting there. Notice what their personality is like and then start asking them questions. And it's inner hearing. I mean, you are right. You're not hearing it with your ears. And the seeing is inner seeing. But I think where a lot of people get tripped up is thinking that there are all these things they have to do to make it so that they can have that. But if you kind of just think of it like having a conversation and accept that you are getting something and kind of look for what it is, that's helpful. And you can ask for things. When I was learning, I had to ask for words because the feelings and the seeing came really easily to me. And then I finally would say, can you also tell me in words? And then another thing you can ask an animal is, can you show me what it's like to be you? And then you kind of get their lived experience and you can ask some questions. And that's when you're getting the feeling, the seeing, the words, the full immersive experience of how they are and their entire perspective.
Great. Yeah, who else wants to share?
And it also depends sometimes on the animal because some animals will use words or some will use pictures and you see a picture and you're like, "Oh, well, are you trying to show me um that this food tastes like fish or whatever, whatever it is." And then you ask more questions that way. But it all, most of the time it just depends on the animal and how they want to show it to you. And then because just like Ingrid said, you go into a coffee shop and then you have a conversation with somebody, your conversation is going to be different with that person than it is with the person on the other side of you. So they're all a little different. But yes, you hear things, you can feel things, there's words, there's pictures, there's sounds, there's feelings. So there's all different ways.
Great, thank you.
And I can say something you can try as an exercise is to show them pictures. And I have kind of a fun example. I'll have to say this hasn't happened since, but I sent telepathically to my cat. I wanted to know if she wanted to go to the store with me because she hadn't been riding in the car. So I showed her going into her carrier and me taking the carrier, going out to the car, just going down to the grocery store, which is down the street, being there for a moment, coming back, letting her out, and getting out of the carrier. I kid you not, as soon as I finished, my husband was standing right there as a witness. She ran right into her carrier. She doesn't just go into her carrier. It was just like ran across the room into her carrier. I was like, okay, I guess she wants to go with us. So you could play with that. Like you can show her, thanks, Brian. You can show her just, or he or she, something that you're thinking you want to do and just kind of just play with that and see what kind of feedback you might get.
That's great. That's great. And I missed a little bit at the beginning. So you were sending an image, like the images of what was
Yeah,
happening.
I
So
showed the story. It's like the story. I was
Mhm.
showing her what the
Yeah,
steps were going to be. And we got home. I don't think she was really thinking, oh, I don't know if I really liked that, but afterwards, but it's beside the point. But I was showing her the steps of what that experience was going to be. So, yeah.
great. Anyone else want to comment on that? And then someone else asked, would this kind of work help my dog make vet visits less traumatic? Each vet visit is a fight for his life. Any suggestions for how to help him? And I said, yes, I thought that you all could help interpret what the dog is saying and that this person could learn to hear what the dog is trying to communicate also. But yeah, what do you all have to say about how you could help with something like that if you can and how you could, how other practitioners like you could help?
Do you want us to talk to the dog specifically or just give a
That would be a
general?
personal question. So we're just doing this as a general question right now. But yeah, and then that person might choose to ask a personal question.
Okay, so you can the sending images is really good for helping animals know what's going to happen and telling the dog ahead of time, what's going on and why. can be helpful. Some animals have more fear surrounding the vet than others, but visualizing the animal being very calm, grounding your energy into the earth, and then being there with the dog the entire time would also help. Some of it is specific to the animal, but if you're expecting the animal to be afraid, any animal's going to react to that. If you expect that, they're going to go to the vet, everything's going to go really well, they're going to be relaxed, then you're going to take them home and give them lots of treats, that can kind of set the intention and show, what you hope will happen in a way that sometimes they'll respond to.
And this is where basically we're sending images and we're sending feelings, even if we're not consciously doing that, we're sending this stuff all the time. And so if we're building what we don't want, we can be creating it that way. So shifting around so that we're connected more to and sharing what we want. It may shift the experience. Go ahead, Keisha, if you had something else you want to share about that, or Carrie. It was helping with this example of the dog not wanting to go to the vet and having such a terrible time. Or it seems like something's happening in that situation.
I think if you know what's going to happen, so potentially what the vet is going to experience is going to be like, if you know if it's just a regular checkup, or if there's might be something more intrusive, just to prepare the dog for that. And you can do that in words and pictures, just letting them know, I'm sorry, it's something we have to do, and it's for your, it's a good thing and overall, and just kind of have that dialogue with them. And just, and again, like what Ingrid is saying, just checking where you are. How nervous are you? Because the calmer you are, they're going to pick up on that.
Great. If there's something else you want to add, Keisha, go ahead. If not, that's all right. Great. And one question. A number of people have joined since you first did your introductions, and I'm wondering, particularly given the kinds of questions that everyone's getting, or questions everyone's asking too, maybe go through and just briefly, but introduce yourselves again. One person particularly is asking if any of you are animal mediums, and I would say yes, that you probably are, but in terms of what kinds of questions they might ask tonight. So yeah, maybe say a little bit more about what are like the range of all the different kinds of questions that you could answer, and what are the different questions we might entertain tonight. Please just go around again a little bit. Maybe Ingrid and then Keisha and then Carrie.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm an animal nature communicator, and nature basically encompasses all beings. So, as far as questions go, I can talk to any being of nature and ask them. So, as you're asking about animal mediumship, so I'm guessing maybe you mean animals that have crossed over. And there really isn't any difference between speaking to an animal that's still in the physical and an animal that's crossed over. So, um, at least what I usually do is facilitate a two-way conversation between the human and the animal or other being. And I can share the being's perspective with the human. Um, I can tell them how the animal or other being is feeling. Um, so, um, yeah, that would probably be really similar to mediumship in a sense.
Great, great. And people are asking about who you studied with also. Could you mention the name of the person that you studied with again, Ingrid? And then again, Keisha, and then Carrie studied with someone else. Go ahead.
For animal communication, it was Maya Kincaid.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, and Keisha again, just some basic intro, and yeah, what different kinds of range of things people could ask about.
Yes. I also studied with Maya Kincaid, um, animal and nature communicator. Um, let's see. Yeah, we've talked to animals who are here, animals who have crossed over, animals in the wild, um, animals in the zoo, any sort of nature. Yes.
Sorry, just any sort of, yeah. So anything in nature, anything that's going on around us. And it doesn't have to be animals, it can be plants and just all kinds of spirits and all kinds of different things. So if people um, are experiencing something or wondering about something or wanting to connect or wanting to find connections, or and I mentioned spirit animals earlier, that might be a little different. I don't know if any of you do those kinds of things too. Yeah, so say like what's included, what's not included sort of thing. And thanks for the information on Maya Kincaid's info in the chat. Okay, go ahead.
As far as what my kind of focus is energy work and body work. So I'm very intuitive in that way. I can get a sense for blockages in the energy field, around the body, balancing the body, and chakra work and body work. Hands-on body work works on the fascial system. And I don't call myself an animal communicator because I don't have the quick communication style. It takes a little bit more work for me to do that. I'll get messages sometimes, but I don't advertise as a communicator or a medium.
Right. That might happen. Does happen sometimes. Sounds like, yeah, and maybe say a little bit more of what your gifts are and what you do with. You said a little
With
bit,
the
but
body.
maybe say a little bit more about what you do. Yeah.
Oh, so I can thank my dog who has passed for this one. He helped me realize that I had an intuitive way of working on the body. He was not doing well at the time, and my hands, and I didn't know what to do, and I was, kind of, you call it prayer or whatever you want to call it, asking what I could do for him, and my hands started moving on their own. So I have some kind of connection to a higher me or higher self where I can move. I work on the body, hands on, but I was also certified in whole energy body balance, which is which is created by a holistic veterinarian, Dr. Edward from Australia. So I have the formal work, the formal training from him, along with the intuitive, and he's also an intuitive. So he has an energy work program and a body work program. So I learned both of those techniques, but also my own gifts come through as they do. And I'm also trained in animal Reiki.
Great, great. Thank you. So let's see. So the simple answer to, do any of you do medium work? Yes, you do. Okay. And particularly Ingrid's sounds like most experienced in that. Okay, let's see. We've got maybe a second person getting in line with a question. Let me see. Um, how do you get an answer if your dog has cancer, whether they want surgery and chemotherapy? So whether they want treatment or they don't want treatment for something that's happening. I'm imagining from some of what Ingrid said earlier, so presenting visualizations and seeing what you feel or notice or how your animal behaves, that would be one way. What do you all have about what kinds of things would you do in this case?
I would start having a conversation with an animal. When it comes to things like asking an animal, do you have cancer? That will never be 100%, and I can only tell somebody what the animal says. So that's not, you know,
And I
so
want to
I
clarify here.
can't.
In this case, it sounds like they've been to a vet and the vet says that the animal has
Oh,
cancer. So it's whether they
okay.
want treatment. Do they want treatment, or I think the opposite would be not treatment, but that wasn't explicitly stated.
Okay. So is this a general or a personal?
It's fine to ask general. Please don't tap into their individual animal for this one,
Okay.
unless they choose they want a personal question. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I would basically have a conversation with the animal about their wishes as far as if they wanted treatment, what they felt the outcome would be, and I would share that with the human. And I have had clients that have brought cases like this to me because they basically wanted to honor their animal's wishes, and it it's usually a conversation, as we go, the person comes up with more questions that they want to know, you know, how the animal's feeling physically. So I tell them what the animal tells me, and then I feel what the animal feels, and I ask the animal to clarify, and then I share that.
Yeah. And just did you have any tips for just if people are wanting to do some of this on their own beyond what you've shared already? Like any tips that people can use for attempting to answer these questions themselves with their animals?
Yeah. Um, you can do yourself what I just suggested, and it really does come down to trusting yourself. And if there are other people too, if more than one person is talking to the animal about it and you're sharing information back and forth, that can make it a little bit more clear. But people usually start out receiving information through one channel more easily than others. So you might notice that you get words or images or feelings more easily. So, start with what's easiest for you and then ask for more. With an animal that is in pain or near end of life, really just notice what it feels like to be them or to be with them to start with. And then by being with them and noticing, their personality, which if you live with them, but you can also just sort of notice their overall state of being and then, keep asking them questions.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. We're going to get started on personal questions here in just a moment. It looks like we've got 3 of them in line. So anyone have any other general questions right now before we jump in? And for those of you that want to ask questions, let me know. Do you want to come up on stage? Do you want to ask from your chair? Do you want to ask anonymously? So I can honor what your request is. All right, stage. All right. Well, maybe we're going to jump into our first question and we'll bring the first person up on stage. All right. This has been a great dialogue. Thank you so much. These general questions were wonderful. Your answers were wonderful. All right. Oh, and before we start, let me say too, this is a great opportunity for everyone here to learn from all that's asked and all that's answered. It's a great opportunity to practice opening your own intuition and ability to communicate with animals, as I described earlier. And then also, when you ask your question, if we go deeper than you want us to go, or we talk about other topics that you don't want us sharing about here, please interrupt us and give us guidance so we stay in the zone of how you want us answering today. Thanks for joining us, Teresa. What is your
Hi
question?
there. This is Penny, and she's my rescue dog.
She's a little out of
And
focus because of maybe the
oh,
background or the distance.
let me
Can
see.
you,
Let me
yeah, turn off the
see if
background
I
and,
can. I don't know how to do that, but this
well,
is.
if you go over
Oh,
with her, oh yeah, I can kind of see her now a little better.
oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
don't know if it's my camera. Oh, it must
yeah,
be my camera. Oh
yeah.
boy.
Okay, we kind of got it better. Put your hand over by her.
Anyway,
Put your hand over by her while you have the camera on. Might
oh,
pick up your
it's not
hand.
working.
Yeah, no, we've got her a little bit better
Hold
though.
on.
Okay. What is her name?
This is Penny. It's
Okay.
hard to see. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's messing up. But she's been diagnosed with a rare breast cancer. They already took part of her breast off. And today we had to go in and they found some more, but they're telling me uh, that they don't know if it's spread through her body, but they want to take her remaining breast off and they want to do chemotherapy, but there's a chance that there's going to be a bunch of other little ones on there. And I'm just trying to. She already had one surgery and she's already been through so much in her life. I just I don't want to put her through a bunch of torture and chemotherapy and more surgery that she just finished. And so I don't know if it's, I don't know. The doctor's saying, well, we can't tell you if it won't ever come back, or, we don't know how bad it is. And so I'm trying to I think my feelings are obviously in it. And so, you know, trying to ask her, I'm just not getting I don't know the direction. And so I just was hopeful that somebody there could read her and, help me to really understand because I'd rather have quality of life than quantity of life because I've seen too many dogs and people suffer doing cancer treatments. And so I was hoping to get some guidance from somebody who could communicate with her on a higher level than me to understand whether it's spread throughout her body or what she wants to do, really.
Yeah, great question. Sorry you're having to ask that. And how long has she been with you?
I've only had her for 2 months. Well, no,
Oh, wow.
since November 10th. And she just had surgery. They had uh, it's like seven, what is it, 3.5 inches long, multiple ones on her upper teat. And now a month ago, they did x-ray and they said, well, she might still have some cells in there. And then today we took her in and they basically felt some more on her. So I looked it up. It says it's a really aggressive, rare cancer. Mammary tumor, mammary cancer. I forget what kind it is, but she, I just don't know. And she's got a bad heart. So I just want to give her a good life. But I'm like, part of me is like, okay, the doctor kept saying, well, we work at a big facility and, that's why it costs so much. And so I'm just like, okay, are they just trying to do that because they want money? Or, is it genuinely because, they care? I just need to figure out whether it's beneficial for her to go through that.
Yeah, wow.
Knowing, you know what I mean? It's like,
Did she come from a shelter?
yes, I have a feeling she was being overbred. They had to fix her. She got spayed when she was at the Humane Society, but she was neglected. She was like 2 pounds underweight. The back of her neck, the hair is missing from the collar had been embedded in her neck. She's got a really bad heart murmur, and then the cancer, and now there's more of them. So I don't know how to make a decision. I don't want her to suffer. I don't want her to go through all that stuff just to find out that in 6 months or a year that she's going to die from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
No,
like she just had surgery a month ago and now there's some more.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, all different kinds of things that they do with people
Yeah,
to check things first. They don't do all those
yeah,
things with animals. So
yeah. And she was like, well, these other nodules could be something different. And I'm thinking, how can they be different when you just took out, you know?
a chance small. Well, let's see. So everybody tunes in different ways. So practitioners, in whatever way you might be picking something up, let me know when you're ready. You don't have to formally raise your hand today. We're got a small group when you've got a few minutes to
Can you
answer.
see her now? Can't even see her.
I think it's blurring your background, and that's why it's blurring her. Don't
Let's
worry,
see.
we can see her.
Yeah, because it's close up, I'm fine. Let me see if I can get it to. I wish I was computer savvy.
Yeah. So yeah, Carrie, Ingrid, Keisha, if you have something to share, go ahead.
I think
Maybe
it's
it's the blanket.
probably facial recognition for human faces.
Right. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, we can see her really well.
Okay, you're okay.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
I don't need to see her if that's really difficult, but
Can you see her now?
yeah, but it's also not necessary.
Okay.
So I guess to start with, she wanted me to tell you that she's a happy dog in general. Um, and she did kind of show herself to me as puppy-like, but um with the types of questions you were asking, Um, I'm not getting very strong responses either way, so I mean, I can start with the beginning. Right now, she's still kind of recovering from the last surgery. She doesn't feel very strong yet. When you're asking what her wishes are as far as further treatment,
Mm.
um, I'm hearing that she would like some further treatment, but more gentle methods. When I ask about surgery specifically, um, she tells me, it's mostly a no, but there is a little hesitation there. So, she says she's thinking about it. This is a lot for her to process too. And right now, in this moment, she wants gentle care. Um, so maybe just more natural things to support her comfort and quality of life. Um, so I know you told us a lot of information, but could you ask some specific questions that I can ask her?
I think I think I is she happy that the decisions that I've made?
That is a
No,
yes. And oh, sorry, I probably should have said at the beginning, I kind of do have to say I'm not a vet and I can only tell you what your
no.
animals tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Um, but yes, she feels very loved. And she knows it came from a place of caring and she feels very safe with you.
Is mm, the since the surgery, um, when my daughter, because my daughter comes home every other week, and when my daughter comes home, she like chases her and she has been biting her. Is that due to, the stress still left over from the surgery? Or is that like something from her background?
Um, well, she told me yes to the stress from the surgery. Right now, she's just uncomfortable. She doesn't like loud noises, abrupt movements in her space, things being set down near her, moved too close to her, and um, you might not feel that it's close to her, but in some ways she does. Um, she says she's recovering, and um, she's just uncomfortable and a little reactive.
So should I continue? Because I kind of stopped giving her the pain medicine because the doctor was like, she's probably fine. Do you, does she feel like she still needs a little bit of the pain medicine from her
Yeah,
body still hurting?
I'm hearing a yes to that.
Okay.
Um, and maybe just a little and supplement it with I don't know if you have access to homeopathic remedies or anything like that, but
No, they just they gave me some it's like some doggy downers, but for stress. Um, and some, pain medicine.
Doggy downers
But
can be
she's also,
homeopathic.
yeah, she's also been doing, a lot of jumping up and down. And so I wonder if that pain is just because, like, she's being so reactive that it's not, maybe the healing's not, it's affecting her healing, or it's aggravating the cancer in her body. That should I, you feel like she wants me to continue to give her some of that medicine for a little bit more?
I heard a no to the doggy downers,
Got
but
it.
a yes to a little bit of the pain medicine. And
Okay.
she That's interesting because she did show herself jumping around and acting like a puppy when I first started talking to her, and she's basically saying she's still got it.
Yeah.
Um, and she wants to feel, like more energetic and alive. Right now she feels kind of sluggish in her body, and um, part of that's kind of her trying to like, let her essence express and come through. And as far as the nipping at your daughter, she doesn't mean to hurt her. She loves her, but it just kind of comes down to discomfort and she's agitated and then she reacts.
Yeah, because I'm getting worried.
She's so calm and quiet right now. Did she just have
Yeah.
another procedure?
No, well, today they did ultrasound and x-ray. And so I definitely know that she's stressed because on the way home, she always sits in the front with me. On the way home, she wanted to be in the back seat. So I knew that it was very stressful for her to be. When before we went to the PetSmart, she loved to go there. And then after the procedure, she's constantly like a tremor shake. And anytime we go in the car right now, it's like this tremor shake. And then today, when we were in there and they took her to the back and then she came back out, oh my gosh, she was like breathing super heavy, wanting to get out, just so anxious. And I think it really did a number on her, which is why I felt like I needed to get on here and ask questions because it's so stressful for her to go and do these things. And now she has to go back and do it again. And they want to completely remove the remaining part of her breast, plus other parts of her body. I mean, I just don't want her to be hacksaw. And then the option was the option is A, remove the breast completely and remove any other ones that they find and do surgery or and wait. Those are the two options.
Um, well, I hear a no to A as far as her wishes.
No to it.
To A, yeah. To the second option, it's more of a yes. She does
Okay.
keep telling me she would like some additional physical support, but you know, maybe
In
there's a
what
third
way?
option. Um, oh, a lot of it she just wants to be held by you and cared for.
Yeah.
Um, she wants to be kept comfortable, and in that she might find additional healing through it, but it's not that it would completely resolve it. But she doesn't want nothing.
Yeah. That's I figured she didn't want just, let it go because she's got so much energy.
Yeah, she still sees herself as a puppy. And I'm really sorry you're going through this.
Thank you. I'm just heartbroken for her because, it's sad everything that she's going through.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you
Well,
for
yeah.
that. I
So it's from
appreciate all
Ignu
of
and
you.
maybe
Yeah.
Acacia and Carrie might have something to share too with
Yeah.
all that.
I heard the same. Like she just wants just love, love, love. She asked her about the surgery and the chemo, and she's doesn't really want to talk about it. She's just kind of like, she just got out of her surgery. She's like, I don't really want another surgery. And then the chemo, there's a money issue there. And but she does like with the nipping, she would just want some calmness in the house. And that's why she's just, she's like, oh, you need to stop. And then she just nip, 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 nip. And that's, yeah.
But how can I comfort her to get her to stop doing that? Because my daughter's getting scared and she's not going to want to come home and be with her mom. I need to find a way to get her to balance with her, but I don't know how to do that. Because my daughter comes home every other week, so they don't have any time to bond. And since she's already bit her a few times, my daughter doesn't want to have anything to do with her. So it's like trying to explain to her that your energy, if you're stressed, she can feel your energy, and it's okay. I've been watching Caesar Milan with that dog whisper guy. It's possible for her to get along, but she's just so scared of her now that I need to figure out how to build the bond.
And how old is your daughter? I can't remember.
14. But this
She's,
is my soul dog. I need.
yeah, she's showing me like wrap her in a blanket just to kind of keep her just this like wrapped in a blanket more
I held where it makes dogs less anxious. That's what you
yes.
mean?
Like
Yes.
a comfort, the heavy dog vest type.
Yeah, like a thunder shirt kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
thunder
like
shirt.
just kind of a squeezer.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
And Carrie, did you have something you
Penny,
want to?
thank you.
Yeah, I don't really do animal communication. So one thing to add is like a thunder shirt, but I just wonder if because of her wounds or her surgery, just a blanket would be, you could work around that area. But
Okay.
um,
Thank you all. I really
And
appreciate
we
you.
meant it just a little bit more. We just happen to have a lot of people that are in the audience that also do bits of animal communication. I know
Oh,
I've asked a number of people to be on the panel today, and so just some of the other things and just practitioners. I just want your ideas about this. So it was mentioned cranial sacral and Reiki, and I was thinking I have a friend whose cat lays on a biomat. Like, are there some other things like that? And I think the daughter kind of could use some of this stuff too. Like, so it seems like there's both the dog and the daughter could use some things that are some calming
yeah.
and clearing. But yeah, so if practitioners, if you have any comments on that too.
She was asking for alternative support. So, I mean, I definitely heard a yes to the Reiki and
Okay.
yeah, anything that just makes her feel calm and loved and kind of like Keisha was saying, um, gentle holistic treatments that won't have physical side effects that are negative would be helpful and appreciated.
Thank you.
Is there anything else from any of you before we go ahead, Carrie?
one comment about or thought is I've done a lot of energy clearing, so maybe just with intentions, clear some energy between the dog and your daughter. And
Okay.
you can include yourself too. I think I always include
Yeah.
every living being in the home, whether they're the four-legged, the two-legged, but just doesn't hurt. It certainly doesn't hurt, and sometimes it can really help clear the energy.
Yeah. I clear my house a lot. So, yeah. Because I bring home a lot of energy, and I'm sure she brings home a lot of energy. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just feel for you with what you're going through.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate the feedback and connecting to Penny. She appreciates it too, I'm sure.
Okay, great. Great. And I guess it's also I'm not saying this is me, this is just some of what I'm just gathering from some of the other people. That maybe after getting some of the alternative work and some of the calming and some of the clearing, you might get more clear messages from Penny also about what she wants.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
great. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Sometimes we get hard questions, right? Hard situations, hard questions. All right. Let's see. Um, B, who was asking questions earlier, wants to ask a question. Did you want to come up here and be in the recording that we're posting on YouTube? Did you want to ask from your chair? Or did you want to send me a message in chat and be anonymous? You've already paid. I'm looking for where you are in here. There, I see you. I'm going to ask you to unmute. How would you like to address your question? On stage? From your chair?
I mean, it can be on stage, the question,
Okay,
yes.
great. Could you turn on your video? I can bring you up if you turn on your video.
Oh, you know
Not
what?
to,
It's kind of late here, so I wasn't
that's
prepared
okay. You can just ask.
to
You can just
be
ask from your chair.
on
You've got a
YouTube. Yeah.
you've got a beautiful photo of a dog on your
Yeah.
account.
I just put him up because it's, kind of sensitive subject for him. So I know I won't be able to get him here because he's kind of shy about this. So I want to respect him and not get him, anxious about that he's on the stage. Let's put it this way.
That's
Because it's
great.
a sensitive topic for him.
And then the practitioners, can you all see who it is and see the animal that I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
the dog.
Okay. Yeah, so if you go across if you could speak again, they'll be able to see you light up.
Yes. So we have
Did
a
you find that,
big,
Ingrid? Yeah, go ahead. Keep
yeah,
going.
we just basically have, vet visits are traumatic, and it's not only vet visit, even at home, I cannot, check his nails, do anything, to help him whenever there needs something to be done.
So you're saying, so you asked the questions earlier about, right, going to the vet and like have such a difficult time.
Yeah, but
So
it's
yeah, so
same
now
thing at
permission
home.
to check in with her dog and find out what her dog is wanting.
Mhm.
So any kind of care. So it sounds, is any touching or just like touching of the feet or anything that feels
If
seems
he
like
knows
medical care?
if he has medical care, if he has a wound and I need to clean it, I mean, he's a great teacher. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
What's your dog's name?
Iron, Iron.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the first thing he says about that is he just doesn't like it. But he's also saying if it must be done, if you just do some things to ground him, like run your hand along his spine and be very calm with him first and kind of gradually work to then tending the wound or his feet, whatever you need to do that he finds objectionable and explain to him what you're doing and why. And he says talking to him will also distract him a little bit. He still might not like it and he might squirm.
Mm. If it
Uh,
was only that. Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, when I ask him if he can be better, he says he can try.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it takes over. It takes over him.
yeah, it's
Even, I mean, we even tried, the medicine, heavy duty medicine, even though I mean, we had to have like ultrasound done on him. So we put him under and he woke up because, yeah. So we had to give him more medicine and start all over again. It's that severe.
yeah. Okay, he is showing me that is really scary for him.
Yes.
Um,
I'm not kidding. Like it's like, top level.
okay. Let me ask him again if there's anything he can do to kind of help
Uh,
heal this.
What is causing his fear?
Had a bad experience. And now he expects it. one of the times he went into the vet, um, he's letting me know he just I don't feel any pain from him, but he felt so scared. He felt so out of control, like he had no, choice in what was happening
Mm-hmm.
to him. He just absolutely couldn't control himself. He was losing it, and then he felt that he was just forced into something, and that was very, very traumatizing for him. And
Yes,
that stayed with him. And now, ever since that event, every time he starts to approach what he feels like a threshold to him to where he's going into that area again, his body just goes
Mhm.
straight back into that pattern and he can't help it. Um,
I know exactly the situation, what he's talking about.
yeah,
It was unfortunate mishandling of the dog by the staff.
um, even if he's telling me, even if you never take him to that vet again, um,
It's FGBet.
yeah, there's a smell in vets' offices that is very similar between offices that is triggering for him. It's similar sounds, it's the sights, it's anything that creates that feeling. He snaps right back to it. Um, so I keep hearing deprogramming from him. So it needs a reset and some sort of deprogramming. Um, if a mobile vet is an option for you and it could be done in a way where um, if somebody comes over with vet equipment smelling like disinfectant and scared dogs, that is also going to be triggering for him because there is a fear smell. Um, it would have to be like a situation where maybe a mobile vet came over in plain clothes or at least not smelling like anything he would associate with a vet's office. Um, and kind of took the time to really sort of establish a bit of a connection with him first
Mm-hmm.
and then calm him down. And the first time it might not go so well.
Mm-hmm.
It may take a couple times, but if that is something you can do, he would really appreciate the patience and the care. Um,
I mean, at this point, we even moved him. We don't even go to the vet office. We like if he needs a shot, we do it outside, but it's still the same thing.
he can hear the animals, he can smell the office, and he's letting me know like everything about it he can still feel even outside.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, when we go, the vet clears. I mean, it's a small practice, the one that we go to now. So
mhm.
when we go, no one's there. No, I mean, I understand he smells animals and he
Mhm.
associates the place, but no one is allowed when we come in.
Um, so right now he's showing me you parking the car across the street from the vet's office, having him curled up in a blanket or a dog bed that smells like him, and maybe him and you, but like familiar
Mm-hmm.
smells that surround him, and then maybe the vet can come in and treat him through the car door. Um, this is, yeah, he said that would be helpful. But he is showing me that he might even still start shaking. But if you're holding him and petting him and reassuring him while this is happening and kind of keeping his attention on you, and um, if you can really ground yourself for this,
Mm-hmm.
like, do you do any meditation? Can you ground into earth really deeply?
I mean, I will definitely do it for him,
Mm-hmm.
but I just need to even take it a step back because he does need to be muzzled, double muzzled, basically. So whenever I take a muzzle out, I believe that's when the shakiness starts at home before we even make the trip.
Yeah,
I've
he's.
been trying to desensitize him to a muzzle because there's no way anyone is getting into him without a muzzle.
Mhm.
So, and I put a muzzle on. I try to make it playful. I'm gonna try the grounding meditation and all of that to see if that's gonna change. But the muzzle comes out close to his face, even taking a bath, it's a big problem. So I feel there's something else that could be going on with him.
He's letting me know he doesn't like the feeling of the loss of control. I mean, he feels like he has no autonomy, and that's really scary and traumatizing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the muzzle, especially represents that. Um, he's saying if you could get a new one made out of different material that he doesn't associate with that yet, um, maybe keep it around him, just don't try to put it on him.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing he's telling me is don't force him. And this might take a lot of patience, a lot of time. I don't know, to
Yeah.
get him comfortable enough to where even in a non-vet setting and just be very clear if you're trying to ease him into that, we're not going to the vet today, you know? I will put this on you for, or don't even, it comes down to force. Maybe just ask him, can I put this on you for 5 seconds and then take it off and then we can have treats? Um, he still doesn't like it. Um, but he's telling me that's less scary.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
When you're saying have it near him, but not on him, can you put treats like in it or near like other things like positive experience that you can associate with it? I know you're talking about doing it after, but I even wonder before then.
he
And I'm
likes
wondering,
that idea.
Yeah, it's all baby steps. I mean, I even took classes on that and yeah, it's all baby steps. But that's why I'm thinking something must be going on. I mean, I understand, the situation that he had that triggered all of it. But I'm thinking if there's events, yeah.
He's
I,
saying it's ongoing trauma. It's
It is.
because
Yeah.
every time this happens and every time he has to be held down or choice is taken away from him, it just reinforces those feelings in his nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
So that really, it just needs to be deprogrammed and replaced with something calming, positive, um, where it's more of a collaboration with him, where, he's encouraged to cooperate.
Mm-hmm.
He is saying he wants to work with you, but he's also saying gentle, please.
Yeah. Baby steps, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of patience, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of reassurance, a lot of positive reinforcement. Um, and yeah, I think he's saying that's basically it. He needs that understanding and, not this sense of, oh, well, we better get this figured out by X time and date, or else, he's going to be forced into that situation again.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like, yeah, I was doing it on regular basis, just trying to desensitize him and do all of that. But then whenever something emergency happens, I mean, we have no choice.
Yeah.
So it sets him back big time. I understand.
Well, and even as you're saying that to me, I feel his body surge.
Yeah. But
I
it's
want
the
to
same thing, like even taking pills is a big, big
well,
problem.
I want to pause for a moment. Carrie's going to have to leave. She may be able to come back, but I wanted to give Carrie a chance to share, and then we can jump back in.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure I just mentioned a couple things that come to mind. So again, I'm not getting messages, but I will say this in my experience that body work can be really helpful in releasing trauma, especially when you're doing like fascial work, because the trauma is held in the fascial tissue. So fascia is like this web-like substance that's interconnective tissue throughout the body, and it surrounds your muscles, organs, tendons. Always say it's like if you didn't, I feel like we would be a puddle on the floor if we didn't have fascia. Fascia kind of holds everything together. So just getting some body work done, Reiki. I mean, just all those nurturing things that we know can be really helpful. I think in addition to the desensitization, and I love the idea of treats and with the muzzle and taking little tiny baby steps to work towards those goals. I'm also a former special ed teacher, so I know what that's like. Getting those little steps going, little by little, you can get to that goal there. But in addition to that, I think some energy work, body work. There is something called emotion code, body code. If people have had experience with that, feel free to chime in on what you think, if that would be helpful. Because that is emotion code is releasing emotions, emotional things from the body. And
Do you feel like it would help him just to, to overcome for that first step?
yeah, to get you're calming the nervous system down. So all of those things can calm the nervous system, including, checking in your energy, grounding yourself, being calm, and then also, but sometimes they can't calm themselves. Like they're so reactive that animals don't always know how to calm themselves until we show them how. So just giving them the opportunity, whether it's like the energy work or body work, massage, any of those things could be of help. I don't know if there's a wrong thing to choose. I mean, any of those modalities would probably be of help. And maybe you, Ingrid or Keisha, would have an examples of what he might like that out of some of those ideas.
And Carrie's getting a testimonial in the chat right now too.
What's that? Oh, I am.
It said you've helped 3 pet care pets with anxiety and generally feeling better.
Oh.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I was in the beginning of the show, I was wondering, like, does EMDR work with dogs? Like, yeah, but just some of the
Oh, he's a tough cookie.
yeah. And if and just one thought that I have, well, actually, Carrie, go ahead and share your information, your contact information again, so it's in the video. So if you can't come back, you've at least shared it here just
Sure.
now.
Yeah, I'm bodybalanceforpets.com, and my email would be the same. It's Kerri, Kerri at bodybalanceforpets.com. Facebook's the same, Instagram. You can find me on all those things. I do have a class on the 17th, which is quite timely for you, because I do teach a little bit of that modality that you can do for your pets yourself. That's on my webpage. You got under events, it has one on the 17th, and then also March, first Tuesday of March as well. It's the same class. Just learning, and it's free, just to kind of give you some techniques to help calm your pet down.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, even touch is, an issue if he knows that we're doing something, but definitely I will see you on the 17th. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Carrie. I was going to say one thing that occurs to me too is, and I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, who's been speaking here. Is it
Basha?
Basha? You're a quicker, and it sounds like you're a busy person. And if it would help for someone else to be involved in helping with this with your dog too, where it's easier for them to take these small steps, just enroll someone else in the process.
I'm afraid it's not possible.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a kind of dog. I mean, he is a powerful dog, and he needs special handling.
Yeah.
And this kind of work that needs to be done with him at this point, let's put it this way. No, I mean, I'm not so sure if I would be able to find someone. Because I did take him to a chiropractor who has experience with horses as well. So it took special treatment.
Yeah, but was it flower essences and things like that? There are all kinds of alternative things, right? Yeah, and go ahead. Those of you that I'm just like thinking of all kinds of things that I might know, but yeah, Keisha, I saw you nodding first, and yeah, go ahead. Anyone else jump in?
Yes, he definitely said the Bach flower essence, the rescue remedy. And and what's funny is your dog sounds a lot like my grandpuppy. This is the same. He's a German Shepherd, and he's the same. He doesn't like to be confined. Don't invade his space. He will just mm, just like that. So it's like his breed and his instinct and this. It's like he can't control it. It's And I don't know if it is just in their breed, like they're just born with this where they don't like to be confined, don't go in his space. Um, so even like like my grandpuppy does not like Reiki done on him. He does not like you putting your hands on him like that. But if you could do it from afar, if somebody can
Mhm. Yeah,
remotely do it, because you're not gonna get anywhere near him. Um, but this he's telling um your dog is telling me smells like lavender, like any sort of like a lady smell is what he said. He said lady smell. I don't know.
interesting.
Yes, even maybe, and now I'm thinking like rose, like rose oil, but he
Mm-hmm.
definitely said lavender. Um, your dog likes to work, so if you could do some nose work before, and where
He
he
does it. Yeah, he's a competition dog.
uh-huh. So if he could do some nose work before to kind of it's not going to relax him, but it will kind of get out of that energy
Mm-hmm.
that before you bring him somewhere, if he could do that to get that out, he definitely needs patience, just like, I mean, you already know the baby steps, the patience with him. And he's a little funny. He said, I just want to be home. Like I like to be home. Why do I have to leave? Why do I have to go anywhere? Um, and then jerky. I don't know if you jerky to lick. Um, I guess maybe like even with the muzzle, you put it on and then you let him lick the jerky and then you
He
put
will
it
not
on.
take food at that point.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, if
I'm
he's
Yeah.
sorry.
stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I will definitely, build into that, but at this point yeah, no food.
Okay.
Are
That
And
there
it's a Belgian Malinois, so they call them German Shepherds on crack. So it's level up.
yes, 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 yes.
are there and I'm like leaning into some like pharmaceutical medical stuff. I know we talked about some alternative things. Is there anything stronger pharmaceutical like gabapentin or anything like that that's used for calming
We
anxiety that would be helpful for him?
He needs gabapentin, and I forgot what we mix it with because he goes through all of that. Like if I give him gabapentin by itself, it it doesn't work on him. And I need to time it so it knocks him out good, like even with fireworks, for
Mm,
example.
yeah. There was I was once taking care of my friend's dog when she was in Europe for 3 weeks, and I think the second or third day she was gone, she had a very high energy dog. Her dog was just playing, started
Mm-hmm.
like running back and forth in the house with my dog. I should have stopped them in hindsight. And they ran to the living room again, and there's a sofa right next to the window. And they ran a little too far, too fast, and went up the sofa and crashed into the window. Fortunately, there's a screen. Window broke. Dog was fine, but so I got some herbal downers, and my friend's
Mm-hmm.
dog was on herbal downers for the next 2.5 weeks. Yeah.
Yes.
So there is some strong stuff. Dr. Silver is the vet that I used to work with. He's out in Colorado, and I know he makes products that are available all over now. He specializes in some of this too. So you might want to go look for a specialty vet like that, and I can go look up his information.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I appreciate it. So
Mm.
I'm gonna try the flowers essence and anything else that.
And I think the black flower essence stuff all the time, like not just when you're trying to put on the muzzle and things like that. Yeah, just as like a hard cycle that he's gotten himself in. And I agree, like he shouldn't have to leave the house, like bare minimum, like only absolutely necessary in terms of care and leaving and all that, if that's at least for now. And Ingrid, I didn't want to cut you off. If you had more you wanted to share, go ahead.
No, I think all that was really good. I just unmuted before the other person left because I was going to ask if she wanted to go down the list and we could ask the dog all of the things she was suggesting, but that's
Yeah, go ahead and take any of the pieces of all that from Carrie if you remember some of them if you want to go there. But
um I don't remember everything she listed. I'm sorry. I mean,
no,
I
that's
we could
okay.
ask him. I know distance Reiki was mentioned.
Hmm. Body work,
Okay. Um,
lavender, nose work.
yeah, I'm hearing a yes to the nose work, lavender, body work within reason if you do it.
Hmm.
Distance Reiki, it would depend on the person. He is, wow, he is very energy sensitive.
Yes, yeah. Hmm.
So it would have to be somebody whose energy that he like, or whose
Does he
energy
like my energy when I do it? Not
he
that.
does, especially.
Oh, he
He's
does.
just showing me your energy wrapped around him right now like a blanket.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone because I feel too much, and so that's why I'm guessing, I'm having such a hard time on doing Reiki on him because I don't have that problem on anyone else's animal. So,
Um, yeah, so he is telling me that you can feel his anxiety. So
hmm,
while you're giving him the distance Reiki, feel what he's feeling while you're doing it.
that's why I don't do it
Oh,
because I know how he feels whenever he gets upset. And I don't know how to help him. So that's why, yeah,
Mm.
because I
um,
do want to help him, but at the same time, I know how heartbroken he is, and it's too overwhelming for him. And he's trying, but at the same time, I cannot be asking too much of him when I need to do a simple thing on him, but it's too overwhelming. So I do need to respect that.
yeah. Just while you're talking, it looks like a lot of this too is, um, he gets upset, you're upset that he's upset, which kind
Mm,
of makes him more upset.
yeah.
Exactly. So, if you can step out of that, and I know it's hard because you love him so much and you don't want to see him suffer, but um, if you can, do some visualization of him feeling calm and relaxed and having a pleasant experience,
Yeah.
it
Yeah, that's
won't,
something new that I'm learning. Yeah,
yeah.
wonderful. I'm definitely gonna do it.
And another thing I did want to mention really quick, we invited a couple other animal communicators we worked with, and some of them are watching, and one just texted me that soft, low voice would be helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's great. We're having a little bit of a collective panel. And then someone else mentioned too that maybe Ayurvedic healing tools could be good. They said anger is hot, so treat with cold remedies. So
What
like
is that?
acacia. Ayurveda, you're familiar with Ayurveda?
Okay. And how do you
Yeah.
use it on a dog?
And this, I know there are lots of Ayurvedic practitioners. They do things like look at the tongue and the body, like the metabolic system and the energy system. And so you'd want to talk to an Ayurvedic practitioner or look up Ayurvedic for animal care. Unless someone
Okay.
here knows something else about it they want to say. And the person that mentioned that to me, if you have a reference for that, please go ahead. I'll go look up Dr. Silver Mullen.
Yeah, he's definitely a powerful, dog that needs this, I know gentle handling, helps a lot.
Looks like Dr. Silver may have specialized
Would you mind putting that
in,
link or could you send
yeah,
it to me?
he may have
So-
specialized in mushrooms. There were mushrooms in that formula that I was using.
the question, would you mind asking him if he would eat mushrooms or what he would like, what kind of a supplement he would like to help him with that? Because he's picky. And I cannot, when I put something in his dish, he's not going to eat it. Believe it or not, he spits it out.
Could we try this? I heard a no to mushrooms, but maybe Keisha and I could both unmute. And if you want to go down a list of things that you want to try giving him, we can ask him.
And while you're getting that, I'd say Sharice is the one, she's got it in the general chat now, had
Okay.
mentioned Ayurveda. And so she said hot pitta dominant dog. And then, but she doesn't have experience feeding dogs. So that's a extension. And Beisha, are you getting a list?
No. Do I have a list?
Maybe Ingrid, can you say the request again, maybe? Or
Oh,
is that for
so
me?
you were asking what kind of supplements he would like.
Yes.
So I heard a no to the mushrooms, but if you have any other ideas of things you'd like to give him and you want to start saying those,
I would be willing to give him anything if you have any suggestions because I don't know what I could give him.
okay.
Yeah. So
And
if you
Ingrid's
could,
getting more of like the yes, no answers to this. So that's why.
yeah. Oh, I thought you were asking him like, yeah, because I will take, anything what you can come up with because I know it's a no, no, no.
So
for
the
him.
Ayurveda he's unsure about. It's like a yes, but with modifications.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also some uncertainty there. So
Okay.
in regards to that, he doesn't know what he wants.
What about CBD oils or pills? Because I have tried it. It doesn't do anything for him.
Mm,
It's not strong enough.
Yeah.
I'm hearing it does something. It's
Yeah.
very, very subtle on a lower
Mhm.
level. It takes just
Exactly.
a teeny bit of the edge off.
So should I try higher dose or would he prefer something else? Or does he like heavy duty like trazodone, the mixtures that we've been doing?
I'm hearing he doesn't like trazodone, but it's also better than the sheer panic he feels. I don't know. What do you hear, Keisha?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the same. I
I
know.
did hear higher doses of CBD would help, but it would also take more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, a combination. We could ask, what about a combination of, the rescue remedy Keisha suggested, a higher dose of CBD, and could you give him a low dose of the whatever you just said you normally give him?
The trazodone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, I don't see that it's doing anything for him.
Mm-hmm.
I need to give him like at least 3 pills. Yeah, now it's, and I don't know any other medications, that.
I would say this is an unusual panel in that I asked lots and lots of practitioners, and I didn't ask some practitioners, and some said no, and some of them are here, and we've got a few practitioners in the audience that keep having lots to say. Okay, so one of them's not quite ready, but one of them's ready, so I'm just going to invite someone else on the panel that might have been on the panel. So let's see, Shannon, let's bring you up, because Shannon's got just one other alternative thing too to share about what's going on for you. Shannon, I need your video on, and then I can bring you up on the panel. Okay, great. All right. Okay, go ahead. I know you had an alternative thing you were just sharing about in the chat.
Yeah, hey. My name is Shannon. I do intuitive readings and have a history with different shamanic work and ancestral work. potentially going to be on this panel, and then something came up and I thought I wasn't going to be able to, but here I am after all. So one thing that I'm getting, sorry, what's your dog's name again?
Iron, Iron.
Iron, okay. One thing that I'm getting is that I'm feeling something like lodged, like energetically lodged, like maybe like, I was kind of just generally feeling into it before, but it feels like kind of like a solar plexus area, something around there. So I feel like he could maybe benefit like from shamanic healing of some sort, or any sort of like energy work that can help like untangle stuff and clear out energy and that type of thing. Yeah, that can be remote, doesn't matter, like definitely doesn't need to be in person. But I'm just kind of like feeling, as I'm feeling into it, I'm feeling, yeah, that there's like something really tangled up in there. And it's like, it's just going to kind of keep pulling. It's like, like if you have like, I don't know, like a bunch of string knotted up, like, and you try to pull one end of the string, like, and it's all like tangled up, like it's just going to make the knot tighter.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, it's like something in there, like really like on an energetic level, like feels like it needs to be untangled for him. And then once that happens, then like all these other great suggestions that people have had are going to maybe start to be more effective. But until whatever this is gets resolved, like that's just going to kind of keep churning in there. So yeah, so I think, I don't know if you have any practitioners that you work with.
I don't know anyone, to be honest with you.
Okay. You could look up like just like animal energy healers or shamanic healers. Like, I mean, like I said, it doesn't need to be in person. So wherever you happen to find somebody that sounds like a good fit, could be a good thing. Like they can just do it remotely.
But do you have a list by any chance, or could you recommend anyone?
We can work on getting you some resources afterwards. I know Ingrid and Keisha know someone too, and then we can work on getting you some resources. As I mentioned, I have lots of other people that I reached out to that aren't on the panel today.
Perfect. Yeah. And could you ask if music helps him, especially with thunderstorm, or like is it soothing for him?
Go ahead.
Ingrid, Shannon, go ahead. Whoever's
Oh, okay. I'm hearing a yes to the music helping for a thunderstorm, and a lot of this actually just the way that you turn it on and place it too. It's the combination of your energy in the moment to soothe him and the music.
Okay.
And I'll just say again to one of our other practitioners that's in the chat, everyone really feels want to be supportive of what's going on for you. Talking with his spirit guides, gonna find out what's going on in a bigger way. I think he's bringing things in that are not just your situation and what's happened to him here. There's some other stuff outside of this. All right, great. Any of you have anything else you want to share here?
I'm just hearing from him that like he's really trying his best. Like he just really like wants to do the right thing, and like he really appreciates you and cares about you so much, and he just needs some assistance getting all of that like sorted out in him. But yeah, like he's not like a malicious dog or anything like that. He's just got this stuff that so he just wants you to know that like he's trying so hard is what he's telling me.
Yes, I do know that. I know he cannot help it. He needs help. Because, yeah. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your question, for bringing him. Yes. Lovely energy. All right. We have another question in line. All right. Did you want to come up on screen? Your name begins with an A. Okay, great. I'm going to bring you up. And we're joined by Anissa.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, I'm using a different setup than normal, so I wasn't sure. I have a question about my dog who's living. I can pan the camera to her if you'd like. I know that Ingrid said you didn't need that, but if anyone else would like to see her, I can do that. My question is in similar kind of vein about dog anxiety. Her anxiety is quite high, and I do have her on a soliloquin, which is a calming chew that the doctor prescribed, but he said that if we needed to do something more intense, we might have to do like a prescription, like puppy Prozac. And I was just wondering, I'm an animal communicator myself, but I struggle communicating with my own animals. Um, and I was just wondering if you would be able to help me better understand her anxiety. It's increasing where she doesn't want to go on long walks. Loud noises are quite startling. And she just seems restless. So any guidance that she's willing to share through to you would be much appreciated.
And she's a dog that really needs a bunch of exercise too, so if she's not wanting to go out, that's hard.
Yeah, she's Belgian Malinois, Siberian Husky, and Pit Bull. So she's quite a mix, but she doesn't, her anxiety keeps her from being full dog, if that makes sense. It's like she can't unleash and just let go. It keeps her contained, it keeps her confined. At least that's what I get from her. Um, I do know she's so happy when we do go on longer walks, which are usually later at night. I don't know if it's more quiet and she likes the darkness, but she'll go on longer walks then. So yeah, sorry, now I'm rambling.
Yeah, and go ahead whenever someone has something. Take your time if you don't yet.
So in your dog's case, it looks like they're reacting to um maybe do you have a little bit of anxiety? Especially take her for a walk.
No, I was worried about this. I do have anxiety. Um and I have it Daniel, don't laugh at me.
No, it's a really common thing.
Yeah.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, I just was wondering how much of it are we feeding off of each other too.
That's really what it looks like is happening here. And it also looks like when you're taking her out at night, you're also more calm and grounded and tapped in, and you two are kind of sharing the experience together. Um, the first thing your dog showed me when you started talking about anxiety is that both of you could benefit from meditating together
Okay.
and being in that energy together. And then when you go out for a walk, try to stay in that energy. And do you do any kind of shamanic journeying?
I don't, not that I'm aware of anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, if that was something you wanted to try, you could also invite your dog to go with you.
Okay.
And that would help your connection. And then, okay, now I'm actually getting that you two can help each other with anxiety in general. So you can talk to your dog about that. And especially when you're out together, if one of you starts feeling it, you can kind of, make it like a supportive experience for both of you.
Okay. Yeah, if I could add a little bit, she was born and raised in the shelter until she was a year and a half. So I adopted her when she was a year and a half years old. And so I feel like she's discovering the world. And so I haven't been able to decipher how much of her anxiety is still discovering the world and being used to being outside in the world and not in a shelter, in a kennel, and how much of it is also feeding off of me. So that's very helpful to know that I'm still contributing to some of it.
Um, yeah, she's saying it's kind of both, but also it's the fact that you're so concerned about her and worried about how she's experiencing life. And no, she appreciates how much you love her.
Okay.
But it is, you're anxious about her comfort level, which makes her anxious about her comfort level. Um, so if you two are kind of in a shared, space that felt safe to both of you, it would actually help you both. I mean, she wants to help you with your anxiety, and you could help her with her anxiety,
Okay.
um, and she is exploring the world, and it is exciting. And she's also letting me know that on the walks, especially, she needs to feel supported, like she's not in her world and you're in your world. If you two are both kind of in a shared space,
Mm,
telepathically. So you're an animal communicator. So when you're taking her for a walk, ask her to show you what her favorite thing is that she's looking at, like what that thing smells like, which maybe it doesn't smell great to, you, but
yeah,
um, so it's kind of, like if you went for a walk with a friend, it would almost be like the equivalent of right now is you're both on your separate cell phones instead of, like talking to each other.
got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just along the lines of where you're going, Ingrid. I was thinking about different things that Anissa you could do for yourself that would be calming, and like you mentioned, meditating. But there are other things too. But you could tell Lael that you're doing it for both of you, like that you're doing it for you too as well as her. So I just wonder that may make her feel more comforted and that you're taking care of yourself also, like when she's in it together with you.
Okay,
Like you heard
I
as you
really,
were listening, some of the other call we talked about flower essences and all kinds of things.
right. And I need to value myself enough to take action on some of those things, I think. Because I want to put all into her that now I need to realize I need to put into me too.
I really like the idea of like journeying with her, like what Ingrid was saying. That's a cool idea. Like, and if you're up for just experimenting with that, because I'm just like, yeah, that she's like even as I'm like feeling that now, she's like, oh yes, that sounds like so much fun. So like, there's that.
Okay.
And then like it totally makes sense what you said about her like being born and raised in the shelter. Because what I was feeling like even when you just first started describing it, or like what I was seeing is like um have you ever seen that cartoon, like it was popular probably maybe a decade ago, it was like or a few years ago, Hyperbole and a Half.
Love the books.
Cool, like the one dog, like the goofy dog, how like they draw their paws like at all different angles and stuff.
Yes.
Like I was kind of seeing her like that, where like she's got such sensitivity, like I don't know if it's energetic or physical or both, like in her paws there's something about like she's getting, it feels to me like she's getting overwhelmed just by like touching the ground in some way.
Okay.
And then it kind of like gets scrambled in her body and like is creating like this weird like kind of upward energy a little bit. So I'm not sure, honestly I'm not quite sure what to do about that, because like I don't know if she'd be open to, I mean, just on a physical level, like wearing like little booties, or if that would make things worse. But something about her paws, like feeling like just very sensitive somehow. Um, yeah, so I don't know. That could just be something to explore, and you could ask her about that too, since I know you've got excellent skills. Like if there's a direction to like, yeah, to like see if, yeah, if she wants to share anything about that in particular.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, because I can just, it's almost like, yeah, it's like she's like, I can just, and like her nails too, like even when like her nails touch the ground, there's something feels like energetic or physical like happening where she's just like it's almost like tapping on something hard, what I'm feeling like that her nails are tapping on something hard, and it's kind of like causing like these shock waves through her body. But yeah, so
Hmm.
yeah, so you could ask her more about that and see if there's anything that could do. Does she let you touch her paws?
Yes. She
Okay.
doesn't appreciate it, but we
Oh,
can do
okay.
nail trims and things like that. But
Okay.
she does she doesn't tolerate it for long periods of time. She is very
Oh,
much
okay.
like, and I'm good. All right, please stop.
Okay. Okay. I was just wondering if there's maybe like a soothing like herbal balm or something that you could rub on
Oh,
her pop, like like anything that's an herbal thing. I'm not a plant person, but like an herbal thing that's like could be like kind of desensitizing or just soothing in some way. But if she's not up for that, then but yeah, maybe just ask her more about her paws, because like that's what she's showing me right now, is that it's like the paws and the nails and the contact with the earth creating like this like really jarring sensation.
okay.
Yeah. It's just kind of like building up over time. I think there might be other pieces as well, but that's definitely not like helping at the moment.
Got it.
Yeah.
And her senses, how is her hearing? How is your hearing when you go out?
Um, so I usually am listening to music softly when I go out. So she might, now that I'm picking up that maybe I need to be more focused in on her and not be listening to music as I go out with her. Um,
Yeah. She's not really expanding on it, but I just heard hearing, like what she's hearing.
Yeah, and she's also very mindful of what she hears, like loud sounds in the distances, then she's like, "Nope, I'm out of here. Let's go back to the house." So she's more startled by noises than physical objects that she sees or people that she sees, it seems. It's like the hearing comes into play first. And then also maybe I need to be more attentive to having that communication with her on the same cell phone line versus I'm with the music and walking next to her but being with her.
Anyone have anything else?
I'm just seeing, as it's kind of just checking in with her. I don't know exactly what this means, but what I'm kind of seeing and how like the words I'm hearing is that she wants to bring you along on a journey. Like there's something she really wants to show you or wants to learn. Maybe could go. I think people were saying earlier about like working on your anxiety together. Maybe yeah, it could be related to that. But she's like, "Come on, Anissa, we've got this big adventure we have to go on." So yeah. So
Okay.
she's like, yeah, very excited.
Okay. Oh, that's good that she's excited because I just worry that she's just the ball of nerves and she
Mhm.
lacks the excitement and other wonderful senses that she could be experiencing in this world.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's definitely like, sorry. It's definitely like this joyfulness. And she's like,
okay.
like not quite a playfulness. It feels like a little bit like, I mean, it is sort of, but like, it feels like very like, she feels very like wise too to me, where like, like, yeah, but just kind of like, okay, let's go. We're going to do this thing. So, and maybe just gets covered up with the other stuff. But yeah.
Okay. Mm, cool.
Yeah, anyone
Well,
have
thank you
anything
so
else?
very much.
All right, great. Thank you
Are
so
we
much,
wrapping
Anissa.
up with this
Let's,
can I
well, yeah,
ask a
go ahead. Yeah, if
question?
there's more,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead. Because
I'm
Craig's got to
obviously
go
came
jump in.
in
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
very end, seeing that there's a lot of anxiety. The question is there any other symptoms? Like, is the dog itchy or anything like that? Is it a dog? Or yeah.
Yeah, I haven't noticed any symptoms really unusual or anything.
Okay. Just more like behavioral, like the anxiety
Behavioral,
and
yeah.
okay. Okay. I don't have anything to add. I came so late. That was just the one question I had.
Oh, thank you.
And I guess, and then this, maybe I'll just say too, so you don't feel like you're giving up something if you're not listening to music when you go on walks with her, like if there's something soothing and important about that to you, like how else can you give yourself that time? So you can really be with her on those walks and then you still get for yourself whatever it is that you're wanting in a different
Mm,
way.
yeah, okay. That makes sense.
All right.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, as Lorelei was, or is your name
It's Lorelei.
Lorelei?
Fine.
Okay. Um, well, as you were saying that, I saw you laying on the ground. Listen, I don't know if you go to sound baths or not, but that might be something that's really helpful for you music wise. And you could telepathically invite your dog to join you on that too,
Wouldn't
so
that
that
be
you two are
special?
experiencing it together. She might not physically enjoy being in that space, but she could be there, remotely with you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Anissa. It was lovely to see you. Glad we could be supportive. Anissa almost was on this panel too. All right. And then another practitioner that I invited to come up, it looks like, yeah, so she's responding in the chat. So I just want to include her. She's working her way to being on one of the panels. She feels like a littermate syndrome, where she thinks you're her partner, but wants you to be, I don't quite understand. She thinks you're her partner, but wants you to be present. Like, so, oh, like Anissa, you're her littermate?
Yeah, well, sometimes dogs travel together, like two dogs together. I think it can, like you see sometimes just out randomly, you'll just see that one dog can't, he just is always traveling with his buddy.
Mhm.
I think it's called littermate syndrome. And I was just agreeing. I felt like everyone else had already said that, where they just felt like he feels like that's her partner, and she's kind of needs to be present as they're walking, like everything everyone else kind of said. But yeah.
No, thanks, giving some language to it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Great. Yeah, and Sharice has had some wonderful comments in the chat too. So Sharice will get her on a panel at some point. All right, great. Right. Well, let's see. We're open for a few more general questions. If anyone has any more general questions, if we have one more personal question, we're happy to entertain that too. Oh yeah, those of you that are here, let us know. Yeah, any general questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat, or at this point, if you want, you can even just unmute and ask. And if you want to ask a personal question, we do just ask if you pay first. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat here again at the moment if you'd like to do that. An observation from the gallery. Let's see what oh yeah. Anissa, you could just jump in. Oh, let's see. So Daniel might have something to share, but Anissa, how about if you just jump right back in? You're not taking up too much space, Anissa. We got more time. Come on up. And this has given us tons of support over the years, and we spent lots of time on some other people too. So yeah, jump right back in. Great.
Um, thank you. I was hoping that I could maybe have help connecting with a animal of mine that has crossed over named Belvedere. I was just curious if there was more clarity around his passing, if possible, because it didn't happen or turn out the way I would have liked his last day to have been. And I just was hoping to hear from him. Well, I'm sure he's okay with it now, but if there's anything that I can do to honor him, or if there's anything that he would like to tell me about his passing or the days leading up to it, or anything that I can do to honor him, or seek forgiveness, or I don't know, just to hear from him again.
Sounds like
I
you're
mean,
still
as
wanting
soon
to feel more
as
at ease too. Go ahead.
what was that, Lorelai?
I just said it sounds like Anissa, you're wanting to feel more at ease also.
Yeah. And at the same time, I can hear what I would tell clients myself about passing and how animals usually feel after they've passed and whatnot. But there's something about hearing it again would be nice.
Yeah, go ahead, Shannon.
I just immediately like saw him like, he's like right in front of you, kind of like walking back and forth, like right in front of you, like as you're sitting there, kind of like, giving you like little head nuzzles on your chin and stuff. And I mean, the sense that I got is that like he doesn't even want you to like have to think about that, like his passing, that like or how he passed, that like he's just like here, this is what's here in the present moment right here. And there he has like so much love for you. And he's just like, yeah, that he just cares about you so much. And, like, yeah, that like, yeah, he just wants you to, to focus on that basically, that there is nothing, like he knows how much you loved him. Like he like, yeah, like as I'm feeling into them, just like, oh my gosh, it's just such a huge amount of love like between you two. And he knows that. And like that is the important thing. Or, that's what he wants you to know, that that's important. So,
Okay.
and yeah, that he's just okay.
Okay.
With everything. Yeah.
I just heard him say all is well, no forgiveness is needed.
Okay.
When you asked how you can honor him, he said with flowers, but that's because it's something you both like. And he showed me maybe you drawing pictures of him with flowers just to kind of have a little thing that you remember him by to feel close to him. But it's really all for you. Um,
Yeah.
so, and yeah, like Shannon said, really does love you so much. And he feels good now. You asked about the days leading up, and he said he was confused, but he's also kind of glossing over it because, he's saying it's not a big deal now.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I'm the human or the being locked in a human body who cares about this stuff, and I don't need to.
no, and he's also saying you can still be with him, and he would like that.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Did you have anything more specific that you wanted, or?
Um, if it's possible, is he hanging out with the other boys? And he would know who I mean by the other boys.
Yeah, it's like a funny response though. I mean it's like yes, but he's better than them, and it seems like there was a
Of
lot of
course.
competition going on. Like he's not really with them. He's just like he's adjacent to them, but shining so much more brightly.
Okay. Okay. As he should. As he should. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll just say I saw exactly the same thing as soon as you asked that. So like, thank you for sharing that information.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great. That is so Belvedere. Okay.
Yeah, he said big love. He said big love and for you not to feel guilty. Or if there's anything you could have done, like don't feel guilty. And he said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And there's just this big, big, big love.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for reassuring me.
Oh, great. Just
I
curious if
do
there's anything you want
appreciate
to
it.
add, just checking in. Okay, great. Thank you, Anissa.
Yeah,
Now
thank you
happy
so
to
much.
give you a little more time. Yeah. All right, great. Just the last call, if there are any more general questions. And if not, we'll be, I just did practitioners, just imagine, like, if there's anything else you want to share with people about working with their animals, being with their animals, or being with nature, or and then you'll have a chance to close out and share again about what your practice is, what you do, and how people can reach you. So yeah, any last general questions? Daniel, you had something you were possibly going to share. Did you want to jump in and do that?
I'm struggling to feel if it's appropriate or not. So I'm going to take a chance and people can let it go by if it doesn't feel like a good fit.
Sure.
Because I rarely, if ever, jump in like this, but I kind of had a lot of energy through our searching for truth with each. And so I noticed that with Anessa, this perspective or this angle came in more than the first two folks. And that is that we're in problem solving mode when we've got, a companion crisis, and it's really easy to get kind of lost in that struggle. But certainly I'm a therapist with humans, but I feel like it transfers over that any significant relationship we have is at higher levels is designed for us both, and that there's learning to be gained from that. Like, in other words, what themes did we agree to explore together as pet and person? And so it's easy when we get locked into, well, what, kind of medical choices do we make and all of those things about the other. It can be really fruitful in searching for solutions and answers to have the parallel track of what am I learning from this uh, relationship, and not ever going into how am I doing it wrong, or I'm to blame or anything like that. It's more like what learning can enhance me, because that's part of the design, is both parties are there to help each other learn by presenting a life situation that has no clear-cut answers. It's the journey of exploring through the process and investing yourself in the relationship. So that can be a like a question for the human partnership to on their own ask, well, what am I learning from this? They can even ask the pet friend, like, what would you like me to know about myself? That's a valid exploratory question. And oftentimes that can provide a context that makes the choices about medications easier. Uh, like I think with my child, who's no longer with me, I invested so much medical effort into surgeries, repairing a recurrent issue. And it just kept returning. And at a certain point, I just said, oh my gosh, I'm torturing her um, by trying to fix her. And I finally let it go after the fourth major surgery. And she went the remaining like 8 years of her life with this recurring thing that actually wasn't a big deal. And I needed to learn in that situation a degree of trust of the universe and the flow of life, and of was I projecting my own human perspective on her. So there was a lot of learning built into that relationship for me. And I started to learn I need to ask, what can I learn here? So I was happy that that came up to a significant degree with Anissa. I felt like that was just brilliant that that came up, and it seemed like it landed really well for her. And anyway, that I think is just an important kind of portion for us to remember to ask, like, we're equal partners in this relationship and we're both learning, and what am I missing in my concern for the other about myself in this process? Anyway, thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
Great. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, definitely a big journey. I remember um, my retriever mix from years ago started having trouble with some like fear aggression from some challenges he had some with other dogs. And then I was like, the big journey was me, and like I had to relax and I had to trust and I had to stay connected to myself and make good choices. And the more I calmed, the more he calmed. And so really learning my role and all that, that was a big deal. So yeah, lots of growth lessons from all our relationships, including with our animals. All right.
Is it okay if I say something on top
Yeah,
of that?
go ahead.
I noticed that like one of my cats is very high support needs. He had a really horrible beginning to life and was in the shelter for a long time, and so he's got like a lot of trauma. And I noticed for myself, I can kind of get like into like this fix it mode. And it's like, of course, I do want to help him as much as possible. But yeah, that's what you're saying, Daniel. To like look at my part in that as well, like what happens, and to see what happens when he gets anxious. I notice I get really ungrounded, and so like it's been like this really good practice for me to like keep coming back to myself, and then that helps him. And so we're actually like really just helping each other. Like it's very reciprocal.
Yeah, great. All right, well, we may be closing up then our panel for tonight. We'll have all the practitioners check out again and share more of who you are, how people can reach you, what are all the different things you do, and just any other messages you want to leave people with as we're closing tonight. We'll go ahead and start with Ingrid, Keisha, Carrie, and Shannon.
Okay. I do animal and nature communication. I talk to people's spirit guides, interdimensional beings, nature spirits, animals, plants, earth. I also guide people on journeys with their animals, and I can guide them inward to connect with their own spirit guides and to remember other lifetimes. And I can also help people connect to nature around them. I teach classes and I do one-on-one sessions. Um, and soon I'm hoping to have retreats. So I'm currently looking for people to collaborate on that. And I also offer to come out to where people live and spend, half a day or a day talking to their land, their nature spirits, animals, any beings like that. And you can reach me at earthbeingcommunication.com.
Great. And you mentioned that you take people on journeys with, let's see, Beisha? Beisha that was asking earlier. Someone suggested maybe going on a journey, a shamanic journey. Maybe that was Shannon that suggested it. But so are those the kinds of journeys that you take people on, Ingrid?
Yeah, it's usually a journey, and we usually include the animal or a nature spirit, but
Great, great. I'm just trying to make sure so she knows who the resources are, people that can do this. Right. All right, great, Keisha. And then Ingrid, sorry, I'm not paying enough attention. You said your website and any contact info that people can use?
yes, my website is earthbeingcommunication.com. And that is also my email, earthbeingcommunication@gmail.com.
Great, thank you. All right, Keisha.
Aisha, animal and nature communicator. Um, I don't have a website. If you need to reach me, it's Stella_Faye@outlook.com. Trained with Maya Kincaid. Been doing this for about 2 years, so I'm very new to this. And then just thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie, my business name is Body Balance for Pets. You can find me at bodybalanceforpets.com. I do energy work and body work for animals. I'm certified in whole energy body balance, which is created by Dr. Edward, a veterinarian out of Australia who created this system. All my own intuitive gifts as well, I utilize as I work with the pets. As part of my service, I also do energy clearing between the beings of the home as well as the home. Um, and I do also obviously personal sessions. I go into the home or I can do it by distance. And I do teach some classes online occasionally. Thanks.
Great, thank you. And Shannon.
Hey there. So I'm an ancestral lineage healing practitioner, and I also do intuitive readings. Just like I get information through a lot of different clairs, and can do just general readings with humans and animals. Any questions you might have about that? I've also studied like shamanic healing. I used to be a biodynamic cranial sacral therapist and massage therapist, so both of those things really inform my work as well. My website is heartwoodintuitivehealing.com. That's Heartwood, like the middle of a tree. So HEARTWOOD. All right, thanks.
Great, and I'm Lorelei Shamayo. I don't work with animals in particular, but I just share whatever intuition I have as things come through. I'm thrilled that you're here for the MeWe Fairs events. It's great that we are able to do this together as a community. I want to mention Beisha too. There's another animal communicator that's here. Maybe it was invited by Ingrid and Keisha that had some ideas for you. So please take a look in the chat for that. And or maybe it's Teresa. It's Teresa who was here earlier. So we have all the animal communicators are also asking questions. This is great. And so much fun. And let's see. So Ingrid, I think you are the one that mentioned taking a shamanic journey earlier. So good. I'm glad we got that all tied up together. But yeah, so thank you everyone for being here so much. We thank you so much for being here. I'm going to be posting this on our YouTube channel, and we've got lots more coming this month. We've got many more practice circles. We've got more online fairs, and we've got more panels that we have scheduled. And so some of them are, and let me just grab the list and I'll tell you what some things are that are coming up. We have on February 17, it is our Year of the Fire Horse, Power and Freedom Over Fear panel. And then February 23, we have Medical Intuition and Energy Medicine Healing. March 3, we have Communication with Interdimensional and Galactic Beings. And so Ingrid's going to be, right, Ingrid joining us again for that. Yeah, so lots going on, everyone. You can find out more about all of our events at mewefairs.com. Thank you, everyone, so much for the panel. Thank you for your presence, your questions, the support of the community, and everyone's answers. Thank you again.